Hey guys. Hey Peter. Mark, g'day. Stuart, David, 624 Dudley, g'day. Peter, hello. Bill, g'day. James B, hello. Good morning. Hey Dan. Kevin, g'day. Tim Atwood, g'day. Yeah, bit slack tonight. My tablet didn't charge today for some reason. Don't know why. It's only about 25%. So if it cuts out in about half hour, we'll know exactly what it is, and we'll have to catch up next week. But a bit disorganised. How's everyone's week? All having fun? It's been raining here. I spent a couple of days down at Shannondale at Dan's Fridge's place, Dan's shed. Got a little bit of the shed done. A few other jobs that we had to get done. Starting to look like a shed. Pretty impressed with that. We're doing all right, actually, I think. That was Saturday and Sunday. I got Saturday off, which was really nice. I'm not sure when the next one will be, but I did get the Saturday off, so that's what I did. Come up on Monday. End up not leaving as early as I should have and not getting here as early as I should have. I was back home by about lunchtime. But yeah, speaking of Currawongs, it's been it's not a real good sort of bit of weather, really. It's a bit wet. Currawongs are better eating than crows. I'll give you that. But anyway, probably best not to know how I know that. But the difference is a crow's got a black tail, and the currawong doesn't have a bile sac in its neck that makes the meat green. There you go. Doesn't taste much like chicken, tastes more like rabbit. A pressure cooker is definitely something that you need if you're going to cook anything that might be a native bird. So there you go. Hey Chirp, I don't know how we got onto that subject, but you need a pressure cooker, especially for currawong or for crow or for Tasmanian native hen. All those things. And rabbit don't taste much like chicken either, but if you cook it right, it's not terrible. John's off to bed. You take care. I hope you got your steel, John. I've never had koala, so I can't confirm or deny that rabbits taste like koala. So there you go. Yeah, it's pretty ordinary, John. Let us know if there's anything we can do to sort that out. I'd be happy to help. Anyway. If there's anything I can do about that, getting that bit of steel to you, let us know. Anyway, long story. Messed about with this a bit. Didn't do very much when I got back from down the coast. Not as much as I should have done, perhaps. I thought, well, I'll pick this casting up. Bill's right. The only thing that tastes like chicken is chicken. So I thought, well, I'm going to sand the body filler off this and see where all the holes are, because that seems like an important thing. You see there's 4 stud holes here, and there's a big rusted crack in here, so the bit's missing. And if we look carefully, I've gone over it in pen, but if we look carefully, there's a stamping in here. I reckon it's a stamping. It says Bay of Peacock. And if we have a really good look, it says and Co. You've got to look pretty close to see that. Manchester. This is Bay of Peacock and Co. Manchester. Now, according to Wikipedia, should never start a conversation or a sentence with according to Wikipedia, but your frog does taste a bit like chicken, Tim. That's a very valid point of view. Frog does taste a bit like chicken. It's white meat. It's not terrible. Frog's all right. Anyway. Bay of Peacock become a public... Hey, Nigel. Become a public company in 1883 and become Bay of Peacock and Company, Manchester. However, you don't have to Google it very hard to see a whole lot of Bay of Peacock and Company Manchester plates with dates on them. And some of them are from 1863 or 1858 even, 1856. There are plates out there that say that. Whether they're reproductions or whether they're the real thing, I don't know. But I believe that Bay of Peacock and Company used this insignia from fairly early on. So that doesn't help us date it at all. I've got another casting here which we know about, and I'm going to drag on about this a bit, with nothing cast in here because it's a body filler on it, and it's not a terrible casting. I think it'll clean up all right. Probably going to run a rough scheme over the top of it. I don't know. Probably will. And I thought, well, I'll get a brass plate cast, something like that. There you go. That looks like the gear. Probably not off this particular pattern, but we'll get a brass plate made up and polish the top off it. And probably put that on there at some point in the future one day. But that doesn't look terrible, I think. It's probably as good as having a carb stamped in. And it's sort of the side of the engine you see, so printed that up last night quick. We might have to, I don't know what we're going to do about that. Don't think that's really the right font. Might have to get my friend Karen to do some artwork for that. And a CNC route one. We'll see what she says. So, that's where we are with that. This is where the hole is. There's, I've got, yeah, we'll see. This is where the hole is. This looks like an inch pipe fitting, inch 11 pipe. Tapered pipe thread, something like that. And it's in the top there, so we'll do the same on this one. We'll put an inch pipe in there. That looks like the entrance for the steam. That's all I know about that. That's the only other real, it's the only other hole that I can actually see in this. Have a look. This one's been broken out here. The corner's been broken out there and someone's filled that one up. But there's nothing else here. There's a hole here, which is where the gland fits, and there's 2 studs here with cross pins in them, which I have drawings for the hold the gland on. So we can make a couple of studs up for this. To go in there and drill and bore a hole in it, probably without too many issues. Now I'm guessing that that's about the right size opening in that, because this one's sort of mostly body filled up. I don't know if you can see that, but this one here, I don't know, someone's made a bit of wood and satin there, I reckon, to bring it back out the size. I don't know, but we'll go with that. So very rough, but we've got a casting and we've got some sort of idea how to machine this. I spoke or emailed the Manchester Museum, Science Museum, about some of the more of the drawings that I have actual reference numbers for. I haven't heard anything from them yet, but I might in the next few weeks, hopefully. Be very nice. But hopefully we'll have a drawing with some of this stuff on it. So that's where we're at, guys, with that engine. We haven't even looked at that. Don't know. I still haven't got a clue what's missing off the top of that. Something is. I think I showed last week that we finished the head studs. Like so. That's all right. I haven't made any nuts. I did think about getting some steel for them this week, but I'm not going to have time. So at some point I will, but it's not a big important thing at the moment because we've got so much happening. What's happening? We have a road run, official, I think, on Anzac Day, which is in Australia is the day after Anzac Day, 2 days after Anzac Day. Anzac Day is the Thursday. On the 27th and 28th of April, we have a road run from Dan's down into town and back on the roller, if all goes to plan. Now, if anyone wants to duck down, and I've sent invitations to about 90 people in the Shannondale Steam Facebook group, and some of them answered, and all the ones that have steam engines answered whether they can come or not, because they know how hard it is to plan these things. Everyone else sort of liked the post and walked on by. So, an inch and a quarter tap, there we go. Haven't got an inch. Maybe I do somewhere. Anyway, there's a road run, which will be 2 days with an overnight stop in town or at the pub or somewhere, or back at Dan's or whatever. Dan thinks he's got an inch tap, so that'll be all right. not a big rush on the inch tack, to be honest. So to do that, we've got to clean the steam roll up. So it means at least a day with some brasso and some steel wool and some oily rags and some elbow grease and a pressure cleaner or a high pressure hose. So that's a day before we get to the road run. We need to test steam it. I'm guessing it's inch 11 or something. It's standard pipe thread. I'm guessing that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be because that's what I can get a pipe to fit. We've got to find some firewood. We've got to find enough water to do it. We've got to get an escort vehicle up and running, and more about that soon. We've got to clean the roller, tidy it up a bit, get everything going and ready. We've got to test steam it, and we've got about 3 weekends to do all this in. So that's some of the inside work. And then when it comes home, you've got to clean it up and pack everything away, and we've got to strip all the doors out and everything ready for a boilers test. And it'd be very nice to put it in the shed to do that, but we've got to build a shed first, so that's not probably going to happen. So I'm not sure if anyone realises how much work goes into making a road run happen, but not whinging, just letting everyone know that there is a fair bit of work, and if anyone wants to come and sit on a box and tell yarns and drink coffee and give me some moral support while I do it, I'd be very happy. So anyone who wants to jump on the Facebook group and say, hey, look, I'll be there for that weekend, and probably the Friday or the Monday, you'll be my new best friend. But we can make it work. Anyway, Mark going to have his ready for the road run. That'd be awesome, but I can't see that happening. Dan should be there. Yeah. There's plenty for Dan to do without even touching the roller, to be honest. But anyway. The roller ferries, like the shed ferries, you've got to actually go out and let them work. So, a very good friend who works in this industry sorted out a reflective sign for us, which is awesome. It's got a few scratches on it, but it's not terrible. I'll take a step back so you can actually see the magnificence of it all. And some reflection. It's got a few scratches on it, but it's sort of still reflective. And we haven't sort of messed it up too much. This is going to have a slow moving vehicle ahead on it, and it's going on the back of the trailer, so it's about 6 foot wide, so it's about trailer width or Land Rover width or van width or whatever. So that's the idea, and it's going to have a bracket on it for a revolving light, which also come as a gift with this, which is awesome. So this weekend, anyone wants to sponsor Bill is pretty helpful, so we'd very much like to have him here. Hey Raymond. So I'm going to put slow vehicle ahead or something like that on here this weekend, and that'll be another job done. So probably a tin bracket on the top in the middle, for the flashing light, so that it's demountable between vehicles, and just put a cigarette lighter cable on the light or something, or just a battery that we can clip on. So that's another job that we took on that we probably really didn't need, but we'll get there. And it's doable. There is free beer. The beer's taken care of, Bill. You just got to work out someone to travel sponsor you. Anyway, didn't mean to moan, but it's a fair bit of work for a pretty good fun day, and it's worth it, I think. But any help's greatly appreciated, because Fridge and I tend to do all the work on our own. In particular, Fridge tends to do all the work on his own, and I stand back and admire his skill levels in actually doing it. Yeah. So give Fridge a hand and turn up. Anyone who wants to turn up the road run, let us know, and we'll organise a place for you. It'd be fun. Anyway, haven't even looked at this box. Like, seriously. Haven't even looked at it. Probably should need to do something with that too. I did sort of start thinking about it, but that's as far as it got. I did put some primer servicer and some filler in this, so that's about ready to top coat. No, we make roads properly here in Australia, Chirpy. Don't think it'd worry a bitumen road, or certainly won't worry a dirt road. Most of the dirt roads we run over would definitely benefit from some work with a roller. But no one worries too much about that. It's a registered motor vehicle. There's nothing you can do about it. Actually, it's not registered. We probably should fix that this week. Did I say that? Anyway, this has got some filler and some primer on it. It's nice and smooth, and it's ready for a top coat of green. And still got to put 2 holes in it for the top plate, but still working on that. It's for you, James. That's another job. Haven't looked at that. Sorry, Bill. I've done a little bit of CAD work on that. But that's about it. Fridge, nothing on there. Bit slack. I did quickly draw this up, but I think a cast I've got pictures of cast plates from the period from this manufacturer, and I think we're going to go with something like that. The dirt road could certainly be made a lot better with a roller rather than before it was made a lot worse. So that was my weekend, really. I've got one of these crappy King Chrome fold-out scrapers, only because the blade doesn't fall out and you don't lose it. Got a soft touch handle, which is pretty stupid. Oh, hang on. Don't know what we did there. We've done something here. Sorry guys, we've got everything in sketch form. Yeah, but it saves a lot of stupid questions if we how do we get out of this? Filters, yes. Let's go back to normal. There we go. No idea. Let's see what else we got. We could go to Dream. That doesn't help anyone. Or Glamour. Or Beam. Actually, Beam's not terrible. 8mm. Dawn. Documentary. Black and white, for talking about imperial measurements. Silver screen. We'll go back to normal. There we go. We've gone back to normal. There we go. So this isn't a bad scraper anyway, guys. Not terrible. I'm sure they're made by 1,000 different cut manufacturers, made by one manufacturer in China, and they're sold to 1,000 different tool companies. But don't mind that. It's got a sharp blade. That was weird, Bill. I don't know what they slipped in your weed, but it's certainly not doing you any favours. So that's pretty much what we've done this week. It's been a bit crazy. A little bit crappy, but it's raining. I don't know, if you've watched Mark's stream last night, you would have noticed that it was raining. It sort of stopped raining tonight for the first time since I don't know when. So it'll probably be raining again tomorrow. It'd be really nice to have a fine weekend because I've got some painting to do, but we'll see. Joe, of course, being a school teacher, is on holidays as of tomorrow, which is nice. Or as of Friday. I've got Friday off, I think, at this point. I believe so. There was some discussion, I think. Well, there will be some discussion if it's not actually paid, but I think it's going to be a paid day. So I'm probably going to do some painting if it's a nice day. If it's not, I'm going to be on the mill. Do some jobs here. Hot Easter weekend would be nice. James P, you had a guest place on Mr. Pete. That's excellent. I guess he's getting sillier as he gets older. Did I say that? Get him on your own. He's a really nice guy. Get him in a crowd, or get him pandering to popular opinion. He sounds like a bit of a dick. Anyway. Was the Bay of Peacock lettering hand cut? No, I reckon it was stamped. It was either stamped or it was casting. Can't see because it's already had the top off it a few times, and it was 150, 170 or something years ago probably. And some of it's missing because it had this hole in it. But I reckon it's either a very, very light relief in the casting, which it could be, or it's stamped. I reckon it's a casting relief. There's no way I could do that in that casting now because it's too late, and this casting's been done for 20 years anyway. So I think something that stands out and jumps and makes people ask less stupid questions will be a very good thing on there. So I said pantograph would probably clean it up, to be honest, Chirp. If you've got, or even I could say to Joe, here, I want this CNC engraved on here. See how you go with it. And that would probably be really nice as well. But at this point, it's a long way in the future. Got to clean that up, drill some holes in it. You're going to have to put these squares in here for the studs. because you know how it is with all. We all need to do that. That's a broken stud, but that goes in the corner there like that. So, I don't know how the best way to do that is. Probably a triangular tool in the corner. I don't know. It's a bit difficult thing to broach as well as machine. Probably could machine it out with a little round corner with an 1/8 tool, but it is, well, it's 2 inches deep, so that's a bit difficult. Probably what I'm going to do is drill them and then machine them out to here with a fairly rump for a radius and get in there with a square file and do some serious handwork and clean them out. I don't think one of the electric engravers, well, one of these, yeah, this is just me writing over the top of it with a Sharpie. It's a bit rough. It's fairly thick in here, chap. It's sort of solid in here like this. That's solid through there. I think it'd probably broach all right in a few different, like in a few passes, but probably too if we set. If I had a spindle lock on the mill, I'd probably have a go at trying to push it through, cut at a time on the mill. But it was probably done in a shaper, yeah. Through here, yeah, it's about 1/4 inch, something like that, 3/8. No, it's probably 1/2 inch. If we go there, it's. Let's have a look on the drawing, but yeah, it's probably 7/16 there. Should change this to black and white or sepia or something when I'm talking about that. It's got a radius on it, but I think it's about 1/4, 7/16 across there to the edge. Could measure it. With this really bad ruler. It's worn out on the end because everyone's been using it as a scraper. But that's telling me it's 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch from each corner. So I think we'll drill them first and then probably cut them out with like plunge the 5/8 cutter through at 45 degrees, right, work out the distance, plunge it through and leave a square corner in here. And if we really wanted to do it, then we could change it out to something a bit smaller and take a bit more out, and then we could clean both sides up with a square file so the stud fits. But it's not big in here, so I reckon we just drill them to size, and then plunge a cutter through so that it cleans up just the edges there, and then maybe another cutter. But we'll see how that works. That's easy. These ones here are probably a bit easier because they're only about 3/4 inch thick. Anyway, we have to think of a way, because if we've got to make a new bottom cover, which I don't think we do at this stage, but if we did, they're about 2 inches thick too. Apart from that, I've got this, which might make a very nice. I'm pretty sleepy, guys, sorry. Don't know what this thread is. I don't know if it's the right thread even, but it could be inch. it could be inch 11, and if it is, I reckon that this will be the steam tap for this engine. I reckon it's not far off. That'd be just the thing. Should be able to burn our fingers on that. I think that'd be very nice, and that gives us a inch copper pipe going in. So that's the theory. I saw that the other night and thought that'll be just the thing. So I do have a tap. It's even got it like a flange on this bottom side, so that'd be even better. So that'd probably screw in very nicely. Now James says launch. What's happening with the launch? Not very much. We're over here. Not very much happening. I have given this power takeoff some thought after talking to a couple of people. I have some ideas about that. And if I get some CAD time and some 3D printed time, I might print up a prototype of what I think I'm going to do. And if we did that, then you could sort of see it, which is really nice. And I'd be able to sort of see it. So we see if that works and check the lengths and things. So that's a job for all my spare time. It's probably a weeknight job. Get that sorted. Haven't pulled this apart and put a slot in the top here yet. This guard's sort of got some filler on it and sanded back quite a lot. So that's ready for some green paint. We're going to put a couple of holes in there. G'day, Anne. Get a couple of holes in the front and to mount the bracket on. And we'll bolt that up nicely and it'll be done. So that's a job. Haven't even looked at that there. I drew something up and I don't like the look of it. I'm really not happy with it, so I haven't looked at that. This reversing system, haven't done anything with that either. Got no idea about that. There was a Launch A6 for sale on Marketplace this week here in Brisbane. Didn't buy it for a couple of reasons. One is I never had the money. Second one is it's an A6 and this is only A2, so the collets are all different sizes. This A6 has 22mm collets and quite a bit more substantial head. It was a 50s lathe, he said. I think it was earlier than that, but he said it was a 50s lathe. And these knobs on the saddle were a bit undernourished and a little bit crappy. And it was pretty clapped out. So as far as the saddle goes, or the slide goes, it did have, I believe, a Morse taper tailstock. That might have been worth the money if I was feeling rich. And a crap load of A6 collets, which don't fit this machine anyway. So didn't buy that. But it's very similar age to this. I think this machine's a lot earlier than that. But No idea. The tail stock would have been very nice, but not for $900. Do I happen to have a machine level? Yes, I happen to have a machine level. Gosh, I think I have a machine level somewhere. I may have lent it to someone. I had two, and I gave one to John Creasy in Sydney. But I've got another one somewhere. I have to think about that. Maybe I have a machine level. There you go. That's a maybe. So that's where we're at with that. I'd very much like to find a 12 volt, a 240 volt to 12 volt transformer for this lamp, which is actually DC. It's got DC LED globe in it. And it's a proper vintage lamp. And it's all been rewired and the switch and everything. I would like a 12 volt transformer. Now I had one under there and it was not really behaving like it should because it was an AC transformer for downlights rather than a DC transformer for this globe. So when I find a DC transformer, I'd be pretty keen to put one on here and get this light going, and probably some others as well. So that's where I'm at with that. Anyway, not very much happening there at all. I did buy a tin of evaporust. I think I showed you that. I'm going to try and start on freeing up that cylinder on that engine. It's stuck. Apart from that, yeah, I don't know if there's much happening. Don't know if there's much happening at all. Sorry, guys. I'm pretty sleepy. Had a pretty long day. Yeah. I've got lots of plans, but nothing actually happened this week, which is a bit poor. What else have we got that we could look at or talk about? Don't know. Really got to get that plate there on the roller at some point before the road run. That's one of the jobs to do. Evaporust I've used quite a bit in the past. I don't mind it as an actual product. I don't think it's entirely the product to defrost that cylinder because it's got 150 years of seizing on it, or at least 100 years at least of being stuck solid. And it's pretty well fused together, and I don't know if evaporust is really the answer. And I'm not sure the gel one is. If you could soak it, maybe it might be better. A wall wart charger would definitely work for the lamp. Absolutely, and I've probably got one. It's just a matter of hooking it up. Don't start that. That's really not something I want to know. If I went and looked in a box, I'd probably find one and hook it up. Bill, I'm also dubious about stuff in gel form too. No idea about that. We will try it. It was certainly a lot cheaper than 4 litres of evaporust. Don't know. But the cylinder's stuck solid, so we'll see how that works. We will report back on that one eventually. What else? What other exciting things have I got happening? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff on this cowshed, this actual set of shelves that I'd like to get rid of and get rid of this set of shelves because it's sort of in the way. These are mostly bolts and nuts and taps and dies. Things like my radio control charger, which could probably go in that box up there with my radio controlled car, which could probably all be sold. Things like there being a set of nylon helical gears here that might or might not be useful for something. They seem too good to throw out, but best if I know what I'd use them for. There's some transfer chalk. This DeWalt one seems pretty good actually. It's got good colour, and you've got to be careful if you're using it because there's a permanent one and a not so permanent one, and one of them falls off. One of them blows off and one of them stays permanently stuck, and you've got to wash it off. See, a lot of this stuff these will go to Mark. I'm not sure that's the right one or not. I think that is the right one. Mark's roller can have these. I have to make sure they are the ones I used. But there's a set of patterns for the drain cock levers on a Fowler roller. Hey Brendan. Been watching Model Engineer, but we haven't got to the point that your article's here yet. Airmails, service mail slow. We're too tight to pay for airmail subscriptions, so I haven't actually got it yet. Oh, you got a PDF. Did you get a cover photo, Brendan? I'm just looking at this now, right? Is it old? That's a really smart idea, James. We might see how I go about that in all my life. This is an old ice cream container lid that come with this engine. This is what was actually written on there. But there's a number there, and I don't know what that is because I didn't see that, and it says 1856. So 135DR3577. I might have to have a look at that. I haven't actually Googled that or anything. Don't know what that number is. I don't know where that number is either. Anyway, I'm probably going to call this because I think this tablet's about to go flat. I've just got a 5% notification. We might at some point have a look through some shelves. There's a crap load of stuff here that you could look at if you really were interested in looking at stuff. But until then, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Sorry I'm a bit less animated and a bit more sleepy. I'm struggling to keep my eyes open tonight. Hopefully after Easter, the weekend at home, get some chores done. We might actually feel a bit more animated and have stuff to show you next week. But this week's been a bit of a write-off. Ankles. Yeah, great. One for Peter. And more soon, guys and girls. and be kind to each other, and especially to me. Don't judge me too harshly for all these projects that are going on at once. And more soon.